It's so crazy that not a single person has noticed that 2,000 devs have been fired from Activision, yet if I go to the drive-thru at McDonald's and one guy called out sick, my order's coming out real slow. It's coming out bad quality because they're in a rush, they're stressing because of one guy. One barista called into Starbucks, called off from Starbucks, and my drink takes forever to get. It's a disaster. 2,000 game devs fired. There's not a single difference in the quality of the game. Fire another 2,000.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 419, and also 419 plus 1. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by Tanner for this special edition 4-digit episode.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
Our first ever. It's going. Yeah.
Doing a little algebra. Quick maths.
Quick maths, 419 plus 1. Not sure what that number ends up being, but I know it's 419 plus 1. So
I
that's
can't
what it is.
calculate the sum either. Yeah, I don't know. And that's why we didn't title it that way, is because I can't do that math. But once we got to episode 419, we were scheduling the episode and we were like, what's the next number after that? I don't know. It's too high. We've counted too high. I can't. I'm not smart enough. Yeah. So
then we were looking at Saturday, though.
419 plus 1.
We were looking at Saturday and it was weird. Like, oh, I think it's 421. Like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 419 plus 2, that's an easy equation.
That's true.
No problem.
Yeah, very true.
No problem doing that. But plus 1, too hard. Can't figure it out. So, anyways, welcome to the show. Today I'll be getting hammered drunk, by the way, to make some cohorts angry. We got a great little YouTube comment, so shout out to you, whoever you were.
Oh, yeah.
Said, oh, this guy's addicted to his vape, but he can't, but he hates like weed smokers or whatever. Hey, man.
Do a vape, man.
You need to smoke more weed if you're getting that upset at jokes, brother. Okay? You gotta relax. You gotta hit another bong rip. Or maybe you need to stop because it's not chilling you out as much as it should be anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've completely fried your entire brain. Anyways, welcome to the show. Today, we have an episode, and we actually have, depending on how you look at it, we either have a fair amount to talk about or not much to talk about. Which is to say, we've gotten the Season 3 Reloaded blog post. And for those of you who are patrons, to be clear, I am not expecting much for Season 3 Reloaded. I am not expecting a lot of content. I'm not expecting a lot of sweeping changes. I'm not expecting anything on Urzikstan. I have not yet read this blog post. So,
well, I'll let you in on a little secret, buddy. It's basically just everything we were already told when the season started. Right. Because you know how they give you info for the whole season now, basically? Yes. So it's pretty much just going back over everything we've already talked about that was coming in season, yeah. So as of now, there's no special surprises. But sometimes they'll drop some things in patch notes that are, you know, that make the game better.
Yeah, let's get some copiums in chat for that, for sure. Anyway, that's kind of what I was expecting. So we do have that to go over, though, nonetheless. And then we should be expecting, or getting rather, pretty soon here, the actual patch notes for Season 3 Reloaded, because we're getting the actual patch itself next week. So we'll get into all that, a couple other things, a new aftermarket part, some Nixstah lobby discourse on the TL.
W Nixstah.
W Nixstah lobbies. We'll get into that. And then there were a few changes this week that we'll go over. But before that, we do have some announcements. Number one, first and foremost, welcome to our newest gold patron, Nick B. Bro did it. Didn't capitalize any part of his name, but uploaded a profile picture. That's a rare combo. You don't see that much.
Huh.
Couldn't go to the effort of holding down the shift key, but he could go to the effort of uploading a picture to Patreon. Very interesting. It's a unique person to do that. But
that's a Zoomer thing to do for sure. All lowercase, that's a Zoomer.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but we appreciate it, Nick. I also have no idea what your last name is.
Yeah.
Seems fake.
Something.
What ethnicity is that? I have no idea. It doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like a Game of Thrones house. Maybe. Maybe even too fake for that. Nick!
French.
Welcome aboard. Oh, really?
Bro's a dirty Frenchie. Yeah, that's what Google tells me at least.
That's what Google's saying, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
We could see where he lives. We can pull up his address, see where he's at exactly.
We could do that. We could dox him live on this broadcast. Yeah. Which is something we have not done before, actually. So shockingly, frankly.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nick, welcome aboard, buddy. Thank you very much. Our newest gold patron. Now, speaking of the Patreon, we have released a bonus episode on the Patreon for all of our patrons, which went live today. And this is the week of Rebirth Island here at the Dropshot podcast, because we've been forced into this box, basically. Season 3 was all about Rebirth, obviously, and Season 3 Reloaded will be as well. We'll get into it. And we figured it's been enough time. Now we can kind of get a little more, get our feet a little more wet with respect to Rebirth. So on Patreon, the bonus episode that went live today was basically just all about Rebirth Island. It was partially like a brainstorm, partially like some tips and tricks and stuff. Mainly, well, not mainly, but a lot of it was focused on what weapons could be good on Rebirth. And if those are in fact different than weapons that could be good on Urzikstan. And unfortunately, the TLDR is like not really. Although JKN posted in Discord the BP50. He was like, I think you're sleeping on the BP50, basically. So I looked at it again, and yeah, you could use it. I think I said this to him in Discord, but BP50 does fill a role that I was looking for that we talked about on that Patreon episode. I won't get into it. You can go listen. But if you have listened, this will make sense to you. BB50 does kind of fill the role that I was looking for, but I had written it off because I play quads and trios, and it only has a 45 round mag, and also not great damage per mag, and its time to kill is slower than a subverter at every range. Still, it's not that much slower at certain damage ranges, but it's also like 100 milliseconds slower in its second damage range, which is like a critical damage range. Like, you're going to get a lot of gunfights there also. So I ultimately still don't think that would be worth it. However, I will give it a try because I think I did write it off a bit early. I was comparing a lot of guns at the same time on the chart. So I don't know what happened with that exactly, but I should have mentioned it more. So thank you, JKN.
It's also very fun. That's the best thing about the BP50. Like,
yeah,
Subverter's not fun at all to use. BP50 is. It's fast. It's got that nice little satisfying fire rate. It sounds cool. But yeah, I've been hoping for a while now that the BP50 would either like get a 60 round mag or kill a tiny bit faster at some of the ranges, but I've used it a good amount in Urzikstan. It is very fun. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the damage for mag that ends up sucking.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So before Saturday, I'll try it. I'll try it. And maybe I'm wrong, but on paper, it just, for like trios, quads, especially, I don't know, doesn't seem quite worth it, but it might be. I could be wrong. So I think I wrote that off a little early, but besides that anyway, yeah. So we talked about guns, talked about some other stuff. That is now live. And then on Saturday, for all of you, the public episode, we're going to do another kind of all about Rebirth episode. More tips, more tricks, more concrete tips and tricks than we gave in the Patreon episode. Because again, that was like meant to be kind of a brainstorm, just things to think about or things to try. But on Saturday, what we're going to do is like very solidly tried and true methods of what guns, perks you should be using, all that kind of stuff, what top 250 players are using, and then also what they're doing. So like where is good to drop, where's good to rotate, what contracts, if any, are good to do, should you be buying your guns or just saving up for loadout, all that stuff that's like much more concrete. That's going to be on part 2 on Saturday. So if you're looking for some tips and tricks to do better on Rebirth Island, and we're going to kind of like, it'll be somewhat geared toward ranked, but it'll apply even if you don't play ranked necessarily. But we're going to, I'll speak for myself. I'm going to mainly have ranked in mind, like trios, ranked rule set in mind when I kind of like develop all these tips and tricks and stuff. But I plan on playing some more before Saturday and watching some more streamers as well, the top 250 players. I have been doing that already. And I'm going to watch some more, start taking some notes, give you guys the whole download. But that should be quite a good episode. And it's going to be a spiritual successor to that Patreon episode we just released, which was fun and exciting, I would say. So, yeah, a couple little neat observations in that. You excited, man? Did you enjoy it? And are you excited?
W Rebirth Island. I love Rebirth.
W Rebirth. Yeah, true. Rebirth's the best map in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk a little bit more about Rebirth on Saturday. There are definitely some other things to say there too. So yeah. The week of Rebirth.
The week of Rebirth, indeed. So, anyways. With that said, yeah, if you want to go listen to part 1, part 2 will be public. So all of you can get the Rebirth download on Saturday. But if you want to listen to the first episode, patreon.com/thedropshot. It is available to all of our patrons. Check it out. Now, one other announcement for our Damascus patrons. Hangout Friday at a time. It's in the Discord. It's scheduled in the Discord. I don't know.
I think it's 6:30 Pacific.
I believe it is 6:30. Yes.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. So be there, be square. We've given you guys ample warning this time. So we'll see how many of you deign to show up, but not sure what we're going to be doing for that hangout. I do have a couple ideas. I kind of feel like drinking though.
Oh, that's interesting.
I will say that. I also have Jake said to buy glutathione.
Pop some of that.
For when you drink a lot, it should help with the hangover. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get hammered, take one of those, and then if I'm at all hungover the next day, I'm going to at everyone in the announcements channel on Discord, say Jake is wrong and these pills don't work, and we're going to cancel the episode because I'm too hungover.
And they won't work,
That's
by
the
way.
plan. So
they will not work. I can guarantee it. Yeah.
That seems to be likely. Yes. So anyway, yeah, for you Damascus patrons, hang out Friday. Here's the jingle.
Bro thought he's gonna have me. Nah.
There it was.
Bro thought, nah.
Damn it. Damn it.
W Rebirth.
The SVA, huh? Let's take a look at the SVA.
Take a peek.
it's like, I was like, what guns do I even look at? Because I had already spent like 20 minutes like comparing guns and stuff.
Wait 7 months, it'll be even more fun.
So then I just kind of like relegated it to...
I think the SVA is really good close to medium range. Probably kind of similar to a little BP-50. I know like it doesn't have recoil, but long range on Urzikstan, I did not like it. But also none of the full auto guns feel good at long range on Urzikstan. So I don't know. Maybe it's actually better than a lot of those there.
What is the SVA magazine size? Let's
60.
take a look. Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say BP-50 kills a lot faster up to in its first damage range, but the SVA's first damage range is 32 meters.
Yeah.
So you're still in your first damage range when the Subverter and the BP-50 are in their second, and they're still faster in their second than the SVA, but not by much anymore. So it's like maybe worth trying.
I love how ARs have longer first damage ranges than battle rifles in this game, by the way. That's my favorite thing about it. It should be the exact opposite. Yeah, it's funny. W.
So anyway, yeah, maybe a little update to what weapons might be alternatives for Saturday to the Subverter, because I would like to try one. But regardless, now's not the time for that. Now is the time for patch notes, changes already in effect. So we did get
huge
some patch notes, a giant patch.
Yeah,
on the 23rd, 2 days ago, in multiplayer and in Warzone. So we'll start with the multiplayer one. There's almost nothing to talk about, probably. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this is actually kind of interesting. For those of you who are extremely old and still working on your mastery camo, challenges that require, or if you're trying to get one of the new snipers, Interstellar, which I have, by the way. This will be relevant. Challenges that require quickscope kills are now more lenient in detection when using weapons that cannot one-shot kill. So that's pretty interesting, actually. This actually was relevant for me recently, not for a camo, but it was like a weekly challenge. It was like get quickscope kills with a recommended battle rifle and semi-auto, I think is what it was.
Oh, it was probably when you like had to use the Sidewinder. There was one last season where you had to use the Sidewinder. That wouldn't
surprise me, yeah. And it was actually really hard because I'm dumb and didn't just do hardcore. And I would have to like scope in and like nail 2 shots or like one tap someone who was already weak to get quickscope progress. I was quite annoyed. But now that should be easier. So that's actually like somewhat relevant. I don't think it's actually relevant for the camo grind after all, but for weekly challenges to get armory unlocks and stuff, it might be. So anyway, there you go. Couple other things. Oh, and this is interesting. The ranked play weapon evaluation has been concluded. Thank you for your feedback and gameplay data. The CDL and all of us will discuss findings and share an update after the launch of Season 3 Reloaded. So they've restricted all the guns they unrestricted to do that weapon evaluation, which we had talked about and lauded last week. So we'll see where they land on that when Season 3 Reloaded comes out. I am curious what they're going to end up doing. If they will, in fact, unrestrict any of these again. What do you think?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't see too much about this. I haven't seen any tweets really if like people really think something should be unrestricted now or anything. So I don't know. It's been a while since I've played multiplayer, so I'm not really sure. I don't even know which of these are considered broken, to be honest.
I think the ones that are the Holger 556, I'm pretty sure is considered broken. And
I thought it was the MTZ 556. That was the one that I thought I saw some people saying that one was really good.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Like
I don't know.
One. Yeah, I think.
And then they will almost certainly restrict the HRM9 because it's so good.
Yeah.
I would be amazed if they didn't, basically. But the other guns, who knows? Maybe they do. So anyway, there you go. That's it for that. So now on to Warzone. Again, on Tuesday, there were just 3 bug fixes. people were glitching into Rebirth Island. They fixed some of them. Fixed an issue preventing the gas mask animation from playing, leading it to function improperly. It's interesting.
That's been a bug since season 3 launched. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
This was a bug. Everyone was talking about this like day 1 of this season. They were like, why am I taking gas damage when my gas mask is on? So it took them, 23 days, whatever, to fix that one. 20 days. Yeah.
Yep. Good. And this has been a feature for so long that I didn't know it was in fact a bug. Fixed an issue preventing players in a passenger seat from using UAVs. I thought that was on purpose.
I think everyone did.
Because I'm pretty sure this has been the case since the launch of MW3 in Warzone.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I think you could last year, I'm pretty sure. You could in Mazra. I'm almost positive you could seat swap pop a UAV, because I remember watching like Metaphor do that a lot. But yeah, I'm not sure you ever could since Urzikstan dropped. I
don't recall ever being able to on Urzikstan, yeah. So again, it was in the game for so long that I thought it was intended, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Bug or feature, classic.
Speaking of that with the UAV,
well, now we know it's a bug.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we got an answer to a bug or feature. Another fun bug that I noticed on Rebirth yesterday that's still in the game is the one where somebody pops a UAV, you're within range, you never get a voiceover notification anymore. Which honestly on Rebirth I don't even want at this point, but on like big map it'd be really nice to have. So if it's going to be on big map, it should just probably be everywhere. But I was floating in and I'm hovering above trying to figure out where to land, of course, because the circle is somewhat small at that point. And I see a guy below me. I'm like 75 meters in the air probably. And he runs to the buy station. And I looked at my mini maps. I'm like, this guy's probably going to pop a UAV. That's the first thing that I thought of. I'm like, he's all alone at a buy station. Resurgence hasn't been disabled, so he's not buying back teammates. I watch him interact with the buy station, uninteract with it, and then I see my UAV outline on my mini map go red. And it's like, I'm directly above the guy 70 meters and I don't get a voiceover. It's like, it'd be so nice if something could just work correctly, Yeah. It's like they added that red box feature, which is great, and it's better than the voiceover for sure. But still, why can't the voiceovers also just, not work correctly?
Yeah.
Work correctly. It's frustrating.
It's the principle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the principle.
It's like basic bugs like that go unfixed.
Yep.
But W.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so now you can pop a bug in the pop a UAV in the passenger seat. So that's it.
Not much thought that was a bug. Yep.
Yeah. A feature.
I mean, feature. Yeah. I thought that was a feature this entire time.
So did I. Yeah. Yep. So now we know. There you go. So that's it for patches. Not much going on, which is not surprising. And I don't fault them for, because next week we are getting Season 3 Reloaded.
Oh, wow.
And with that in mind, we got a blog post yesterday all about Season 3 Reloaded. Now, we're going to go through this, but we're not going to go into any great detail on most of it because, as Tanner mentioned, we've already gone into a bunch of detail on what I suspect will be most of this blog post with the Season 3 blog post, where they told us everything we're getting this season. So unless there is some new information in here, we're not going to read it in any great detail. But nonetheless, let's go through and let's see if there is, in fact, any new info with this blog post. And then from there, if there's not, which I'm not expecting there to really be, there might be some little sneaky surprise changes with the patch notes. They have done that before. I feel like they actually do it with every season and Season Reloaded, is they sneak in something with the patch notes that they just didn't mention. These are usually things that they feel are unimportant or uninteresting, but are in fact quite important and interesting. And the reason they aren't in blog posts is because the devs don't play their own game, so they don't know that it's actually a big deal that they're making some change or whatever. So they don't bother hyping it up, even though they ought to have, and they just put it in the patch notes. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was something of that kind in the patch notes, but
I think it's
getting a little ahead of ourselves with that.
I think it's just more these blog posts are to show off content, which that's why the patch notes to me personally are usually often the more exciting part, because that's where something like a buy station refresh, they're usually going to put things like that there, you know, and then other exciting things like we've made every bolt action sniper in the game have 5,000 velocity and one shot at any range. They would just put that in the patch notes. They're not going to put it in like the content drop here, because most people don't care about these things. Everyone just wants to look at, you know, the new content, the maps, the changes coming. But the patch notes, yeah, there's often some very interesting things in there that do deserve to be hyped up for sure.
Yes. So regardless, we'll go over those when we get the patch notes, but we don't have them. So here is the blog post. So again, yeah, not going to go into great detail on things we've already talked about. So skimming through here.
It launches May 1st at 9 a.m. by the way. So next Wednesday, May 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific is Season 3 Reloaded. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So that minefield game mode, which is like the worst idea I think they've ever had. We already talked about that, where there are just prox mines everywhere. And then the escort game mode, which actually sounds quite fun because it's kind of like, it seems to be exactly the same as Safeguard from BO4, just reskinned, but maybe not. Anyway, we're getting those 2 new maps. So Grime is one of them. And Checkpoint is another one. We have more screenshots of both of these maps, by the way, because we had only gotten one for each of these, I believe, in the Season 3 blog post. Now we have a bunch. And looking at Grime reminds me a lot of like Meat, actually, at least the big screenshot in the top right.
The styling of the map reminds me of that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a tunnel as well that's given off Mercado vibes toward the bottom left. And then there's water. Murky, awful visibility water, by the way. You will not see players in there. So that's interesting. But it looks like it's on the edge of the map. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's like they
relevant.
just add water and to add it, or to add it. Like realistically, it probably won't come into play really at all.
Yeah. So this map looks like it could be decent. Hard to tell, but actually, I'm pretty confident this will play pretty well. Actually, it looks pretty solid. So anyway, moving on. Checkpoint is another one. New repurposed core 6v6 medium-sized map. So this is just the Stronghold POI, but it's a map. And now we're seeing other angles of it. Not that we really need to, because most of us have been here before on Rebirth. And basically what Tanner and I had said about this, just as a quick reminder, is that, or what I said about it is, if you can go as vertical on this map in multiplayer as you can on the POI on Rebirth, it'll be terrible. But if they restrict a lot of that, which it seems like they will, and it will play more flat than the POI in Warzone does, then it could actually be quite fun, potentially. Yeah. I could see it going both ways, though, even if they do restrict the verticality.
Yeah, and they are.
It is kind of a bizarre layout, and I can't really, I can't know if it's going to play well or not unless I play it myself. The layout's too unorthodox to like predict, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of little things are moved, I feel like. Like, aren't some of these vehicles moved or not there on regular Rebirth?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
But it does say this is a modified version of the map where upper walkways and control tower are sealed off, emphasizing combat on the ground.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it looks decent. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. We're getting those. Anyway, power up in the arcade playlist.
Okay.
Okay. So there's going to be a playlist where you pick up power ups and special weapon pickups. Okay.
Empowered weapons include the punch knife with a dramatically increased lunge distance. Perfect.
That sounds fun. That sounds fun, good, and exciting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll not be playing that.
Love that. Yeah. And then the Vortex playlist comes back. So it's all the reskinned maps, which do look really cool, to be fair.
And I saw a screenshot as of yesterday, too. All of these Vortex maps have been added into quick play. So you have a chance to just get these when you're queued for quick play Dom, whatever you're queuing for. Which is cool because they are cool looking maps.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go.
W Sledgehammer.
New field upgrade and equipment. So again, we've gone into these. The enhanced vision goggles. Yeah, terrible. And the EMD mine, also terrible. Okay. And then the next section, I'm having like a weird brain thing. I can't read.
Yeah.
I can't read right now, and my mouse wheel is just constantly scrolling.
Are you okay?
No,
did you fix it?
What's going on? All
mine's
right,
working
fine.
now. Yeah,
Woo.
mine's good now.
Woo, I'm back.
Perfect.
And also that brain thing that just happened to me, it made me forget the last 10 seconds. So I'm assuming this is right where I picked up before that happened. Call of Duty Warzone overview.
Yeah, very cool.
Here we go. Gear up. Okay. So there's a lot, but we've talked about pretty much all of it. A new event, field upgrade, and more features. Cool. Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, the weather changes are coming. Yeah, that's right.
Whoa, Nelly. Let's hold our little horses. With occasional aerial bombardments increasing in ferocity across Rebirth Island. What? Hey, what?
It's the things we already talked about. They're already in the game where the tower gets blown down. Those things. The water tower.
Events?
Yes. I don't know why they call it this way. Just say the infill events like you've called it in every other blog post. Yeah,
you're making
but that's
me
what it is.
Real worried. Okay.
And they are in the game, but I don't know if all of them are in or how that works. I've only seen like one of them so far, personally, but it's gonna be a lot of them.
We'll talk about that more on episode 423. So, yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. The weather change, a bunch of other stuff. Let's see. So yeah, once again, the heavy armor public event is coming with Season 3 Reloaded. A rare occurrence at infill, this raises the number of armor plates you can carry. So your total health goes from 300 to 350 if this event happens, which changes the time to kill of every gun in the game. And it also changes the time to kill rankings of every gun in the game. So if you really like running a subverter, because it has a faster time to kill than whatever, BP50, well, it might not kill faster than a BP50 anymore if you give everyone else, or give everyone 50 extra health. That does happen. So we'll see
I forgot about this
goes.
one. This event I was not excited for. This is a classic cheese event that should be, if you want to do this, great. Put it in an LTM for a week. Okay.
Do its own mode. Yeah.
But having this randomized is a terrible idea. Yep.
It's bad
and it's what we had
good.
talked about when the season came out is we don't just have Rebirth anymore where you queue and play Rebirth. Now it's like there is junk and crap happening all the time randomly, and it's annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So we'll see how that goes. But again, that should only be happening in pubs. Although most of you are probably playing pubs and not ranked.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is I know a guy who is Plat 3 and he solo queued for ranked yesterday. Solo queued rank 3 and he got put in a lobby against Huskers.
Are you serious?
And Huskers' 2 teammates who are all obviously triple queuing and are also all top 250.
Yeah.
So this guy, some guy, solo queue Plat 3 was getting just passed around by a top 250
around. Yeah, Jesus.
restack. Yeah.
He was probably with Dongy and Unrational. I think they were playing together yesterday. Yeah, that must have been
right.
Who we fought. Yeah. Dang, that sucks.
So there must not be that many of you actually playing ranked because otherwise that would never happen. That's insane. So, which actually kind of sucks for you if this public event sounds like a bad idea to you, like it does to us, because you will be at risk of encountering it. But anyway, one other thing we're getting on Rebirth only, by the way, makes no sense. Just as a reminder, is the utility box, which is a field upgrade that combines a muni and a plate box. Great addition, great field upgrade, love it. Only on Rebirth though. Okay.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably the most unbelievable one. Because I forgot until right now that this was only coming to Rebirth. I started reading this, and I saw some things yesterday when like Call of Duty tweets their little tweet where like Season 3 Reloaded, the utility box field upgrade, get ammo and armor, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'm excited. I forgot about that. Rebirth Island. I hate them. I hate the game devs. I hate the Call of Duty game devs. Every single one of them. I don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
W.
I dislike them and also don't like them.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah. And I hate them too.
They're not great.
Yeah.
They're not great.
And they're not great. And
W.
they're also bad and not good. Yeah, W. So anyway, whatever. Make it make sense one time. We're also getting the weapon trade stations back. Again, Rebirth only. These are good. These are cool. I like the idea, and I liked their implementation last time. I expect it to be good this time as well. We're also getting Specialist.
On Rebirth Island?
On Rebirth Island only, which I'm actually okay with. I don't want to see Specialist anywhere, so you know what? Keep it. So there you go. Foresight is also coming, a new kill streak.
Rebirth Island?
Rebirth Island only also, yeah. A mode where you barely care about where the next circle is going to be. You're going to have Foresight. Okay!
Unbelievable.
Got it! It's such a joke. I hate them. God, I hate them. I hate them.
Yep.
So anyway, whatever.
It's probably because they laid off 2,000 devs. That's why they're making these decisions. That's what I would guess.
Surely, yeah.
Because they don't have the manpower to make better decisions because they're 2,000 people down. So that's why they're making bad decisions. Yeah, that has to be it, right?
Surely.
Yeah.
Surely. So,
hire them all back, I say.
Yeah, just a couple more QA testers. That's all we need. And your guys' job was super important. I haven't noticed that they've all been fired once at all. Not one time, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, random aside, has anyone noticed the game declining in quality because they laid off a couple thousand QA testers? Because I haven't. They've been making bad decisions where they just didn't change anything for Urzikstan, but that's not due to a lack of QA testers. The quality assurance or lack thereof is entirely the same as it was 2,000 employees ago. So as I said at the time, W Activision for laying them off, you were wasting your money. They didn't do anything. No one's noticed. No one's noticed that there are 2,000 fewer. No one.
Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy that not a single person has noticed that 2,000 devs have been fired from Activision, yet if I go to the drive-thru at McDonald's and one guy called out sick, my order's coming out real slow. It's coming out bad quality because they're in a rush. They're stressing because of one guy. One barista called into Starbucks, called off from Starbucks, and my drink takes forever to get. It's a disaster. 2,000 game devs fired. There's not a single goddamn difference in the quality of the game. Fire another 2,000, maybe 4,000, really? Honestly. Because at the end of the day, the game is in the state it is because of the decisions, not the game devs doing the work, actually. It's the decisions they're making, like adding an armor box, which is also a munitions box, also known as the utility box, on one map. You could literally fire 10,000 more people, and that change would still be made because some guys thought that was a good idea to implement it that way.
Right.
Awful.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
W.
Yeah, I agree. Let's fire 2,000 more so-called QA testers at Call of Duty headquarters and then take the money we save and hire a real development studio to actually make a good game and make changes that make sense and actually do quality assurance. That would be a great idea because they're obviously getting way too comfortable over there. At the QA team on Activision, insofar as it exists, which is an open question. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Fire. Fire 2,000 more. It's a great idea.
At a minimum.
I unironically support it.
Yeah.
Your QA team doesn't do anything. So, along with upcoming playlists like Loaded Resurgence at mid-season launch. What is that? Loaded Resurgence.
That's the one where you get more health, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought that was heavy armor.
I don't know then. I don't want to click on it and in case it takes me to another
Loaded
link.
Resurgence. I think that was the one where that was, I know what it was. It was the LTM they're going to add. This one you actually queue for. It's not like an event where you start with your loadout basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
If that's it, that one will be fun.
By the way.
That one will be fun. Yeah.
That one will be fun. Yeah. I would love that. Cuz otherwise I'm not getting a loadout. So it'd be cool to play with my loadout on Rebirth Island. So yeah. But anyway, and Rebirth Lockdown. So Lockdown's like Hardpoint basically, but in Warzone. So they go over a bunch of other things that we already talked about. Okay, here we go. Something is happening with the bunkers on Urzikstan 2. Curious squads who explore these areas are apt to discover the rewards within. This isn't all that's coming either, though some redacted surprises are best left to our players to uncover. So that is something they did mention, which I forgot about, honestly, in the Season 3 blog post, is that we're getting like bunkers on Urzikstan or whatever. And they're also hinting at other redacted surprises on Urzikstan. What this means, I'll translate this for you. Some of the bunkers on Urzikstan are going to be accessible and there's going to be good loot in them. And I'm not sure how you're going to have to get in, but it's going to be likely going to be some process to do that. And then if you do another process for an Easter egg, you'll get even better loot, basically. So, cool. I'll take it. Is this going to fundamentally change how the average match of Urzikstan plays for the average player? Not one iota. No. So, just in case you forgot like we did, and then you see this and you're like, oh, Urzikstan's getting bunkers. Okay, that'll be interesting. It won't.
Yeah.
Let me be clear, it won't.
The classic bunker. They keep kind of teasing things. Something kind of happens. Then maybe in season 9.5, we finally get the trailer for the next video game. And that's what the bunkers were in the game for 6 months for.
Yeah.
That's what they were for.
True.
Yeah. It'll be that.
True. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. So don't be excited if
dude,
you are.
That's literally what the bunkers will end up being for. I guarantee it. When they do the in-game,
that's what they were last time. Yeah,
that's what they've been every time. Yeah, it's always been something to do with revealing the next game. Hey, I wonder how Gulf War is going to be revealed.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's a lot of loot in there. Hopefully, there's a chance to spawn the new utility box in there by season 4. Maybe they'll add it in season 4.
On Urzikstan? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a lot of work. We don't have enough QA to test if that would work or not.
Yeah.
Putting that field upgrade in Urzikstan. So, yeah, you're right, though. There's going to be like, so this Easter egg is going to open like one of the doors, and then there's going to be another locked door right behind it. And then season 4 is going to be you open that door, and there's another locked door behind that. And that will continue until season 6, where you open the final door, and then there's like a dark aether, like, whatever vacuum that you unleashed on Urzikstan, and then all the dark aether is going to pour out, and it's going to make you time travel to the Gulf War era, and then we're just doing more time travel, and then that's welcome to Modern Warfare 4 Gulf War or whatever. That's what's going to happen. You're absolutely right. So
W
plot development and writing, and not taking the lazy way out and by just saying, hand waving and say, oh, time travel. Okay. Call of Duty Warzone mobile overview. Nah, I'm good.
Nope. Yeah.
Scrolling through all of that.
That's more. Wow.
By the way, remember Call of Duty Warzone mobile?
Kind of. Yeah.
We talked about it when it launched, and we said inside of a week, no one will be playing or talking about this.
Yeah,
that's
not the
obviously
streamers.
what happened.
Yeah. All of those guys actually spent like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on setups to play it for 48 hours and make videos on it.
Yeah.
The big ones made their money back, though, I'm sure. But a lot of people for sure wasted money on that. I'm sure there's a ton of people playing it. The player numbers are probably insane. But in terms of like content creators that pretended like they were going to play it, they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Joe hype it up? Probably.
Yeah. If Joe hypes up Season 3 Reloaded, we need to be really worried. Someone go check his Twitter. Go check his Twitter. If he's excited about it, we need to be worried.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. We'll do that little Twitter check. But for now, general overview is the next little section here. This is for all the games, I guess. This is interesting. Although, again, we've already talked about it. The Ball 27, a new AR, is coming. It is a bullpup AR, which you love to see, which is where the action is in front of the mag. Is that the definition? What is the action, Tanner? That's like the trigger,
I think it's
right?
just the trigger is in front of the magazine. That's what a bullpup is, yeah.
Is there something called the action on a gun?
I mean, the
like
trigger.
You've ever heard?
The trigger action. I mean, not. Yeah, I can't really think of what it is on most guns though, but I have heard that term.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's just something to do with
like
the trigger in general.
Yeah. So it's top loading. The top loading Ball 27 offers quick reloads in a unique firing mechanism, whereby the initial 4 shots save your accuracy before the weapon kicks into a higher fire rate to finish the job and bring down your target fast. So again, yeah, we've already talked about this. This is cool, and I hope this is viable because this is a unique... This gun will feel like unique and interesting. Like another hyperburst gun, I'm all about that. And if it is viable... I don't want it to be overpowered, but I want it to be competitive. That would be fun to use for a while. And it would really prioritize hitting your first shots because those are the ones that, oh no, excuse me. I mean, you always want to hit all your shots, but the first 4 come out slow and then you just start barking. It's pretty interesting. Pretty excited to see it. So.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
I hope this one... It'd be so nice if this were a meta gun.
I know. Because it sounds fun to use. Like, it's unique.
It does kind of worry me, though, because they're saying the first 4 shots are slower to fire, but highly accurate. So that kind of worries me that after those first 4 shots, they're going to add too much unnecessary recoil to it, and then it's going to be bad at range, you know? Like the tacky. Just gets like unusable after 9 bullets at long ranges, you know? Great great at like a close to medium range gun early on ground loot, when you're firing those 8-9 bullets and actually hitting somebody because they're close to you, but long range, like the gun sucks.
Yeah. I remember using it and it becomes like a joke. Like
it does, yeah.
I don't know if it's the Evolver or the Eradicator.
That one, yeah.
It's the Eradicator, yeah. I remember using it when it was like quite good. And it was fun and it was like usable, but yeah, you couldn't like dump your whole mag, your 75 rounds. Like after like realistically 15 bullets, it's comical how much recoil it has. And it's everywhere. It's like top left, bottom right, top right, top right, bottom right, top left, like just jumping around. It's like funny.
It's random and like not even mounting fixes it. That's what I'm saying. Helps, like it's an unnecessary amount of recoil.
Yeah, it's like
they could have added a little bit more, but like with the Eradicator, it was a little crazy. But yeah, I'm hoping this gun will be fun.
I agree. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also curious, by the way, just looking at the picture of it, how it'll handle. Because it looks like it'll be pretty fast handling. So again, if this could be like a little competition for the Subverter, I'm sure they're going to do more weapon balance anyway, so maybe that won't even be relevant. But having like a gun that's like really good on Rebirth, but it's also only good on Rebirth because for whatever reason, that would be interesting as well. You know what could be good on Rebirth, dude? The MCW conversion kit. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Well, you don't think of it because you don't get your guns. But yeah, it is good. I mean, like I talked about a couple episodes ago, it is very, very good, but I found myself starting to miss too many shots at those longer close damage ranges where I felt like it was so good, like really close, but like 15-ish meters, 10 to 15 meters. For as good as the time to kill is, I think I was missing too many shots or hitting too many limb shots compared to the HRM, so I went back. So I haven't really tried it too much on Rebirth.
I mean as a primary, like that plus the HRM on Rebirth.
Yeah.
Is that too crazy?
Maybe a little bit, but you'd have to be a Nixstah.
Well, we'll get into that. Anyway, yeah, that's another thing I need
Bro's doing a Nixstah.
I need to do a write down actually. Hold on. Okay, let's see.
Just make sure everyone's within 15 meters and you'll be good.
Yeah, anyway. We'll talk about it more on Saturday. I wrote it down so I'll remember. Moving on. Is that the only new gun we're getting with Season Reloaded? I guess so, because we already got the new SMG, which is terrible. So we're also getting Devin Booker.
Okay.
Who is a shooting guard for the Phoenix Suns, which I totally knew.
Is this dog supposed to be like a real dog? Doesn't it almost... It looks like it's supposed to be a fake dog. Like, what is that? Doesn't its face look terrible?
It looks... Yeah.
Very poorly
look
done.
Great.
Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think doing a dog's face would be easier than like a human being's, but they really dropped the ball with the dog.
Yeah. This Devin Booker skin...
Maybe if we had 2,000 more QA devs,
True.
The dog's face would look...
They don't have time. Yeah.
Dog-like. Yeah.
Dog-like. This is actually a cool skin for Devin Booker. Got a little beanie on and a nice... Wow. Is that a tailored tux, you think?
It looks tailored, yeah. I think if you're in the NBA, you can probably afford a tailored suit.
He might be able to afford it, yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I like the skin.
Yeah. He's got the watch, too.
Yeah.
I don't know about those gloves, though.
Hate them.
You know, I actually hate the operator skin. Why are you wearing a beanie with a tuxedo? What are we doing? Take off the beanie.
I mean, it's probably the way he walks into games. Yeah, that's their style. Their little pre-game style, how they dress all fancy, you know?
Oh,
Bro must do a beanie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway.
And he has a tracer pack. Oh, the dog looks better here.
Okay. Yeah, the dog does look better there. Yeah.
Yeah, Bro's head is huge here. Holy. He's a tiny guy.
Is he also like 6'8"?
Is he a tiny bud in real life? He looks so thin. Doesn't he? Look how thin he looks. This Uzi is as big as he is, man.
I don't know, man.
Jesus.
I mean, in real life, he's probably quite big, actually. He's in the NBA, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway,
cool.
Whatever. Let's move on. Some other packs that they're... Yeah, you're right. This is all just a big advertisement. It's a marketing campaign, yeah. So, okay.
These look cool. A lot of these. This one's dope. Phyto Fighter.
Dude, what? Keep going. Additional store content. What is that?
I know. We were talking about this in Discord. I'm unironically buying the one on the left. That's so funny looking. I'm actually buying that. I don't know.
Wubs and friends.
Wubs and friends. So this is one of those skins.
Is this like a Teletubbies skin?
Okay, so this is one of those skins, right, where all of the super nerd realism guys don't complain about any of these other skins, but then all of a sudden they see this, and they start tweeting out, COD ain't what it used to be. You know, COD's getting away from military and moving to this. This is so funny looking, dude. I actually love this skin. I will actually be buying it the day it drops. I'm very excited to run it. It's so funny and goofy. And how upset people get about some other guy's skin in a video game they play is crazy. God, it's so crazy. They're turning into Fortnite. Like, look at the weapon camo. I'm going to run that, man.
I do. I have to. I hate to say it, but I do love it.
It's so cute, right?
It's not cute at all, but it's dumb.
So my question is, do I have double the head hitbox? Because this guy's head is huge.
Bro's head is wide, yeah.
That's a Tiggs wide, yeah. That thing is huge. Tiggs
wide for sure. We wide, boys.
God,
yeah,
it's so
I don't know. Great question.
So I think you buy it and you get 4 different colors there are that you could put on. But yeah.
What's the 4th color?
Will be buying. Not sure.
Pink. You can see it on the right. You can see his arm.
Oh, yeah.
Pink. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm not sure what's run all rock, though. I'm thinking the purple.
The meta would be brown. I'm definitely not seeing that in a Rebirth building ever. But what's the like funniest one? That's a great question.
The pink. The pink will be really funny, actually. Yeah, the light pink and purple. Imagine us 4-stacking on Urzikstan, teabagging some guy we have downed. No, all with the same color. All with purple or pink. God, that'd be so funny. We'll be buying W Activision.
Yeah, I take back everything I said. Keep the utility boxes on Rebirth only. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I'm Wubs and I'll have friends.
Wubby.
But really, though, what is Wubs and friends? Because, like,
nothing.
Who are we marketing to? Is this like a...
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not a thing.
It's marketing to me.
They just made it up.
That's it's for sure made up.
I thought it was like a kids TV show.
Oh, no. Like they're just being
buying
goofy.
The rights.
No, they're being goofy.
They just made it up.
They made it up. And it's marketing to me. It's worked on me. Yeah.
Based.
It's fantastic.
You're right. Based.
Dude, do you think his eyes will move around when you run?
Oh, like just like bounce around.
I hope they do.
Skull. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so good. I can't wait to buy that.
What are the voice lines going to be like, too?
Hopefully creepy.
Yeah. Hopefully super childish, actually.
Super childish, yeah.
Like, oh, look, Timmy, we got another one.
Yeah.
When you get like a kill or something, that would be great. That would be really funny. I would enjoy that.
Wubs, love it, man. Oh, it's a tracer pack, dude. Damn, that sucks, though. That means it's going to be like $40. Dang it.
Oh, it's going to cost $1 million.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I don't want to spend like $35 on it. I was hoping it was like 2,000 COD points.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. New weekly challenges and events. So yeah, whatever. New weekly challenges and event. So weekly challenges aren't going to matter, but they will lead to the unlocking of aftermarket parts. And some of these I am unironically excited for, actually. For example, the Jack Patriot for the M16 makes it full auto. We're going to be getting that. That I am excited to try, especially because, like we talked about last week, they reduced the recoil and gun kick of the M16 by 20%. Like vertical, horizontal, visual, and gun kick, all 20% less recoil in all of those metrics. So if you also make it full auto, super curious what the stats are going to look like on that. That could be really interesting.
Yeah.
And then some other aftermarket parts that don't matter. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. The Jack Warden's aftermarket part. So it makes the Lockwoods akimbo level action shotguns. They didn't spell lever, right? Hire them back. We need 2,000 devs to spell lever. We need them. So, okay, that won't matter. Makes the AMR9 a 5-round burst. Obviously, that doesn't matter. So, yeah, just the Jack Patriot, but that'll be interesting. Maybe. Anyway, Season 3 Reloaded events. It's like those out-of-game event things where you just do stuff and then you get rewards, basically. This one's called Vortex Virus Mainframe Event. Okay, got it. And then the Call of Duty Endowment Pack, which supports veterans like myself, and I was in the Corps. So buy that, support veterans.
That goes straight to you if you support. Yeah.
You can thank me for my service if you have enough channel points. Yeah. So, still the funniest channel points reward I've ever seen in my life. Service. It is I just can't believe it.
Who was that again? That big bearded guy? Batty Beards or whatever. Yeah. Oh man,
Daddy, yeah.
I gotta get in there and thank him.
The reward you get for watching his stream enough or giving subs or whatever to earn 5,000 channel points. The reward you've earned for that is that you are allowed to thank him for his service.
You think you get timed out if you thank him without using channel points, man?
I just can't.
God, it's hilarious.
It's a wowzers for me. But anyway, that's it for the blog post. So yeah, nothing really there we didn't expect or already know about from the season 3 blog post. So it is what it is. Urzikstan lovers get pooped on. However, there is still something to be excited about, I think, with respect to the patch notes for season 3, because we will likely be getting, hopefully, some weapon balancing. Maybe the SMG meta opens up again. That would be cool. And then maybe some even long-range meta kind of shakeups. Like I could see them nerfing the Subverter, for example. Less likely, I could see them buffing some other ARs to make them more competitive in line with the Subverter. Don't really know. And then maybe some other surprises, like, adding balloons or changing up where buy stations are or something like that. We could maybe see in the patch notes for season 3.
Yeah.
Reloaded. But don't expect anything super crazy on Urzikstan. Like, they're not going to add a POI to Urzikstan and not tell us beforehand. That's not happening. But
yeah.
There could still be some substantive changes that are interesting and impactful, but not that impactful, basically. So
yeah, nothing in that blog post at all hinting at like coming in season 4, big map ranked. So surely we'll see something in the patch notes, some sort of a teaser saying, oh, by the way, stay tuned for season 4 if you like ranked play and Urzikstan. They won't, but
yeah,
I was hoping to see some sort of little teaser on that. But anyways,
Wubs and Friends will be Rebirth only, by the way. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah. And if you and your entire party own Wubs and Friends, you actually spawn in with your loadout. You spawn in with everything. So make sure to set your favorite loadout. Next thing up here, the BP50 conversion kit is in the game as of yesterday, 2 days ago, I think yesterday. Weekly challenges for it. So it converts the BP50 to an SMG. It's a 60-round drum mag, I believe, if somebody in chat can confirm. Pretty sure it's a 60-round drum mag. Yeah, it's just a SMG BP50. So it is pretty good. As you can see here from this image, though. Unfortunately, it's got a very substantial damage drop-off for its second damage range. So up to 12 meters, it's as good, actually a tiny bit better than the HRM. But once you enter that second damage range, HRM basically drops off from like 620 millisecond time to kill to about 700 millisecond time to kill. The BP50 drops off from 620 milliseconds to 820. So not super viable, unfortunately. Really good up close if you're really going to get in people. If you run like high grain, I think like JGod said, you can get this up to like 13, 14 meters pretty much is the damage range, but not great because you don't realize how often you end up shooting people past that first damage range with an SMG. If you start shooting at them and they're running away or they're outside of a building, trying to run away from you, whatever, you will be shooting at that range a lot. So the fact that it's more than 100 milliseconds slower killing there than the HRM makes it pretty useless, unfortunately. So yeah, that's
especially for how little benefit you're getting up close.
Yeah,
because it isn't killing that much fast. It's barely killing faster than an
basically
HRM.
Exactly the same. Yeah,
it's virtually the same, and then it drops off way harder.
Yep.
So and you're also down an attachment slot.
Yeah, so, and if you're like from like 20 to 25 meters with the HRM, which sounds a little wild for an SMG, but especially like on big map, you will use your HRM at those longer ranges a lot. If you run out of ammo, weapon swap, just keep shooting because the gun's so easy to use. You can hit shots at that range. It just takes quite a few bullets to kill. At that range, like 22 meters, for example, the HRM, you're still killing at barely over 700 milliseconds. At that point, the BP50 conversion kit's like getting close to 1,000. It's at 950. So it's really bad at those
Another
ranges.
thing too. Yeah. Also, if you use the conversion kit, it still uses AR ammo like in game, doesn't it?
I'm not sure.
So I would assume it would, which means you'd also have to be carrying a ton of AR ammo as if you were running 2 ARs. And that also makes it unattractive.
I think I actually read that on Twitter. Is that how it works? AR ammo. Yeah, that's insane, actually. I didn't realize that. Yeah. It's not worth using then, unfortunately.
Yeah. They're just way too little going for it.
Yeah, and then losing the attachment slot on an SMG for the conversion kit.
And also, how are the irons? Because I can use HRM irons. Can I use BP50 irons? If not, now it's 3 attachments versus 5. Like,
I mean, the AR irons are good.
Happening.
But I'm not sure if these ones change it at all. I don't think they do.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, okay. Well, still.
Maybe it does change it.
Still probably not worth it, but interesting nonetheless. They do need to make those conversion kits change the ammo type they use if they're changing if they're going to call it an SMG conversion kit, it needs to use SMG ammo.
It seems like it's just an oversight by them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They should. It should change the ammo type you use 100%.
Yeah.
More game devs could fix that though, probably. But yeah, so
just
kind of
2,000 more. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of as J God said, it does have very fast ADS and movement. He said 610 milliseconds up close, which is right in line with the HRM. But if you hit like stomach shot or leg shots, it drops off quite a bit too compared to the HRM. So like J God says, overall it's good, but inconsistent. So HRM's still better. If you're really bored and you're really good and push everybody on Rebirth, then it's probably really good. But for most people, it's not going to be a very viable secondary to use.
Yeah.
Next thing here coming from Charlie Incel, there is a newly released skin called the Killer Skin. And it is the first to have a party bonus skin. So in game, this is what it says. Receive XP bonuses when you and your party play using killer skins. Get double XP and double weapon XP when you play together in parties of at least 2 players. Get an added double battle pass XP bonus in parties of 3 or more.
Wow. So
that you and your team... everybody has to be using that bundle, though. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's not just one guy and everybody gets double XP. Every single person would have to use it. So, yeah, on this skin, too, a lot of people were mad about it because it's called, it's called the Killer Skin, and it's definitely labeled after Jeffrey Dahmer and, like, a clown face. So, a lot of people were, like, really upset, like, saying, like, they're glorifying a literal serial killer. And like turning him into a skin.
Shut up.
And I honestly don't disagree, but I'm also not going to complain about it. Like, I'm not going to tell them to take the skin out of the store, but it is a little funny when you think about it that they basically made an in-game skin based off an actual serial killer.
Of Jeffrey Dahmer.
I heard they removed this from the store already. Not sure if that's true. I don't even think that was said by Charlie Intel, but I saw a lot of people tweeting about it, and I read from a couple places that it was removed. Not entirely sure though, but yeah.
That's interesting. My gut reaction, because I saw that tweet too, is that I super don't care.
It was there an hour ago. Okay, that tweet was capped then, yeah.
But maybe I should care. Is it bad that we have a Jeffrey Dahmer Call of Duty skin? Probably. Yeah. I guess it's probably bad.
It's probably bad, right? Yeah. So I'm not like complaining and I'm not the one telling them to remove it. But when you really look at it, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially when you pull the Nick Merck skin for that thing. That's what a lot of people were bringing up too. It's like you pulled Nick Merck skin for tweeting what he tweeted, yet you've made a skin of a literal serial killer. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But again, they don't actually care. They pretend to care about the things that are popular that they want to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But it's a fair point though. They are pointing out the Activision hypocrisy, but Activision doesn't care about being hypocrites. They care about money. Yeah. The easiest way to test this actually is like, okay, would you think it's bad if they added like an Adolf Hitler skin?
Yeah. And every single person would say,
bad.
yeah, that's
probably bad. So if that's bad, a Jeffrey Dahmer skin is also bad.
Killed people.
So
yeah.
So not good, not great. How However, not that I'm advocating for this, to be clear, but can you imagine how much money Activision would make if they did like a Nazi tracer pack bundle and you got the Adolf Hitler operator skin from it?
Yeah.
How many like COD racist edgelord kids would buy that?
There are a lot of kids that would love that.
Dude, they would make so much money.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they would make so much money.
Yeah.
Not that they should.
Yeah,
but
when
they
you
would make so much money.
I feel like this skin probably shouldn't exist. And if they don't pull it, I would be somewhat surprised if it doesn't get pulled and just stays in the store. Yeah, pretty crazy. And then last thing here to talk about.
Oh no, the Nixstah lobbies.
The Nixstah incident. Yeah, so everyone knows Nixstah, a lot of other big streamers. You hear Nixstah because he's the one that like always drops 60 and 70 bombs all the time in Resurgence. Everyone always accuses them of VPNing. A lot of them try to hide it. Some of them don't really care. So what's happening now, people have figured out, is the way that most of these guys now are getting bot lobbies is actually not just VPNing. Some of them do a combo of VPNing and this, but a lot of them just do this. Huh? A little combo, yeah. So they're doing what they call two boxing, which I hate, and I don't know why they call it that. If it's because like two like Xbox is like two consoles, I don't know what it means, but I hate it. But they two box, which is
like Tanner's probably heard this phrase, multi-boxing. You heard that?
Not really.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. I've heard of multi-boxing before. I don't know why they're calling it two-boxing now, but back in my day, it was called multi-boxing. And it was just you have two applications of the same client running.
Oh, so, okay.
Like, I would do this in Star Wars Galaxies, the MMO. I'd multi-box. I'd have one character giving out buffs and then another one like to play. And we called it multi-boxing, but they're calling it two-boxing now. I don't know why,
so the way they do it is they have a console running and then they're on their PC, of course. Yeah. But so this has been something people have done, but this seems to be the most common way now. And this is how they do it. They basically have an alt account that's like, they don't level up. So it's like level 3, level 5. They're level 650. They join on that. So while they're live streaming, whenever you see streamers hide, but they like put up like their full face cam between like matches, which usually you think like, oh, they're just like talking to chat and what. And a lot of them do genuinely do that. But mostly it's because they'll be hiding what they're doing on their screen. And this is what they do. So he joins. This guy got called out. I don't know his name. Rex, REKZSS. They found proof in one of his streams of him doing this because he was dropping high kill games and always putting his little face cam up between streams. So he joins on his level 5 alt account, which is on console. And him and his friend both join, and they're queuing for like quads or something like that. So they're already queuing with one person less. And then they queue also on a level 5 account. So once they load into the match, he then backs out of that level 5 account that he joined on. I don't know how it all works, how he's able to just do that on stream all the time with nobody noticing him grabbing a controller and leaving. I don't know how any of that works, but he leaves the game. You don't see that other account in there, and then you think he just queued duo quads with his level 650 buddy. Yeah. And they just so happen to dominate the lobby and get a, I don't know, I just so happen to get a bot lobby. So that's how people do it now. That's the most popular thing for sure. And Holy Shepherd here on Twitter said this is what Nadia was doing right now when he tweeted this. They're playing duo quads and Resurgence, but they have 2 PlayStation accounts, and you can see when they queue that they're backing out after they find a match. And she's hiding her screen on Twitch, but on TikTok it's not being hidden. Yeah. So if you're watching her live stream on TikTok, you can see what she's doing, but on Twitch they hide it in between. Yeah. So this is how they're doing it. So like a lot of bad players like to say like, oh, streamers like they get different lobbies, they get bot lobbies. That's not always true.
Like that.
But to an extent, yes, there are a lot of content creators that are quite literally playing in lobbies that you are not in whatsoever because they're doing this method. And it seems to work very well. It's crazy how weighted that becomes joining on a low-level account when there's still 2 level 650 accounts in that lobby.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It just throws you in bot lobbies, but it does. That's how all of these guys have dropped numerous 60-plus kill games in Resurgence. And if You know, if these guys tried to play big map ranked whenever that came out, they probably would get hard stuck crim or something, you know? Like, they're really good at the game. They're very talented for sure, but they are farming miserable players. And I started seeing some clips of that too. People were like, I just tested the method, like, look at these players I'm going up against. And some guy would be 10 feet away from him, crouched with a default skin, shooting. The guy would be stepping left and right, avoiding the bullets. Then the person would turn around, start running while reloading. They would walk after the guy. They would just continue to try to, like, run away. Like, it was so bad. It was unbelievably terrible. And these people are like actual 0.1 KD players, and that's who they're getting into lobbies with half the time.
Yeah.
So that's the method. It's not always a VPN. They're doing two boxing. They're doing a little double box, as I like to call it.
Yeah. And so people are comparing this to VPNing, and I don't think they're the same thing. When you VPN, or at least how I think of it, is VPNing, my goal isn't to get bot lobbies. It's to get not SBMM lobbies. It's to get connection-based lobbies that don't take SBMM into account. And therefore, the lobby is like a mix of like good players and not so good players. And those, if you're in a high SBMM bracket, those lobbies are always going to be easier than your SBMM lobbies. But it's not like you're trying to find the worst possible lobbies you can if you VPN only. You're just trying to get connection-based matchmaking and get out of SBMM lobbies. Multi-boxing with a level 5 as your teammate, you're trying to get into protected lobbies. That's different to me than like VPNing. Because not only are you trying to get away from SBMM, you're trying to invade the most protected lobby bracket possible. And VPNs don't try to do that. And I do think those are fundamentally different, actually. I think it's okay to want to play in a connection-based lobby by VPNing. I don't think it's okay to try to invade the lobbies of people with one hand that play the video game, especially if you're like an insane player. And it's even worse when you just lie about it and say that's not what you're doing. It's obvious that's what you're doing. Even if people don't know how you're doing it, no one's getting 70 kill games, like, or 50 kill games even, 4 times a day. No one's doing that by just playing the game. It's not possible. I know players that are very good and they never get 50 kill games because they're not doing all these shenanigans. And for those people to lie about it is extra scummy. And it's also just obvious. It's like we didn't know what Nixstah was doing for a couple weeks, the general public. But everyone was talking about Nixstah lobbies for a couple of weeks prior to knowing the method because it's obvious. No one's that, he's not that good. I mean, why didn't he win the World Series of Warzone then? Like, what is he doing? Like, obviously, these lobbies are something else. And some people, I guess, don't recognize that, but even most people did. And now I guess we know the method. But my big point is that to lie about this is just insulting to even the casual audience. They knew what was going on. And it's super scummy. It's super scummy to do it even if you're being honest about it, in my opinion. I think this is a lot different than like just VPNing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, by the way, isn't this what like Korean Savage and a lot of those guys used to do back in the day?
Korean Savage was doing this.
Because this was similar. They had an alt account that they reverse boosted the hell out of.
Yes.
So it'd have like 2,000 deaths and 0 kills. And then they would join on that and then back that one out. And he didn't really live stream. He recorded gameplay. So like, oh, here's me getting a triple nuke. Yeah. And then finally someone figured it out. So this is the same thing, but in Warzone.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But pretty funny. So when you see
funny.
these guys hide their cam in between matches, that's often what they're doing.
Especially if they're dropping like 60 kills every lobby. Because, like,
yeah,
dude, we like Jake, for example. I don't think this guy, Rex, is better than Jake. Having never seen him, I just don't believe it. Jake has never gotten 60 kills before. It's not like he doesn't try to. It's because he's not doing all this goofy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is also Resurgence. He could probably get more if he tried Resurgence and played it a lot.
Yeah, maybe that's true, yeah. But still, like, I don't know. And we know other really good players, too. It's like, no one can even sniffing 60. Like,
yeah.
Or even 50. Like, they're obviously doing something. They're not that much better than,
yeah,
you know, or Biffle. Does Biffle get 60 kills? I don't think
Biffle can get 60 kills in the World Series of Warzone, practically. Yeah. On land.
So, yeah, right. So,
what was I going to say? Yeah.
I would expect the devs, by the way, to patch this. They're going to make it so that, like you said, they're going to weight it differently. So, if you join on your friend's account and he's level 1, you're getting in your lobbies, not his. They're going to change it to work that way for sure. I would bet money on it.
I always thought that's basically how it worked. This also makes me think, by the way, too, if you're playing quads or trios and one guy's KD is like lower but still higher, like say more average, I feel like you should then be joining on that guy. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe that does make a bigger difference than we thought it did. Because I always literally thought it was basically averaged. It kind of just averaged everybody's and put you in that lobby. But this makes it seem like you don't. Or it's just because it's a level 5 account, so it's already in a protected bracket. That's why they throw you in there.
I think it's a different category. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think if you're like, I don't know, under an hour playtime and or under level 10 and or under a 0.3 KD, something like that, you get like protected lobbies where you are only ever going to be put in one of these protected lobbies. It's not possible. You're not using the SBMM algorithm. You're in a different thing. Like you're taken out of the SBMM equation. And then if you are not taken out of the SBMM equation, then it basically just defaults you to the best player in your party's lobby. That's how I think it works. But again, I don't know, and no one does except Activision. And this is why when the SBMM blog came out and the white paper on SBMM came out, we told you, we're not really going to learn anything from this. Like, we learned a couple things that they say, but like, how does this work?
Yeah.
This is obviously working, but if you could read the whole white paper and blog post they released on SBMM and not learn anything about how the mechanism by which this works at all. They didn't talk about protected lobbies. They didn't talk about team composition and how that relates to the skill of your lobby. They just said, when you queue, we find a match that prioritizes connection and then tries to find similarly skilled players. It does not talk about anything else beyond that. And obviously there is more going on. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for people to multi-box like this and get 70 kills in a game of Warzone. Yeah. No one's that good. Yeah. No one's that good. So yeah, we didn't learn anything really from those blog posts or white papers, and I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, and the biggest thing again too is like, why are these guys not just honest about it? Like, nobody thinks you're like a competitor, because if you were trying to compete, you would be trying to compete. You just farm pubs all day long, right? So why do you even hide it? Everyone knows you're doing it. Just like admit to doing it. That's what's always been the most cringe thing. And that's what we have said about VPN since Warzone 1, is that like, we're not against them at all. We're against people hiding it and claiming they dropped 60 kills without anything.
Yeah.
So
in the case of multi-boxing, though, if you're trying to infiltrate protected lobbies, I do think that's different. Again, I think that's actually scummy.
That's true, because VPNs is randomized still.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like honest about multi-boxing, then I don't think that helps much. I think it's still wrong to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know. But anyway, I think they'll fix this though. Because this completely ruins the lobby for everyone else, by the way.
Yeah.
Like if you're a 0.2 KD and you run into some streamer kid with a 4.0, like see ya, you're super dead.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right.
I gotta try this. Somebody send me a Xbox. I gotta try this.
Yeah, someone, yeah. Stay humble.
Stay humble.